I'm really liking Avowed. I was a little bit lukewarm on it last week, but the more I play
we got him.
and the switch is flipped where I'm thinking about it during the day, getting excited to play it, like thinking about what I want to do during that evening's play session.
How far have you gotten?
I'm still on so you leave the tutorial island, then you go to a big area, big city. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Dawn Shore. Yeah, that's where I am.
But you've gotten out, or you're doing stuff around the big city now, not just in the opening.
Yep. And I went through. There's a kind of a big chapter break. Something happens. I'm on the other side of that too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like
great.
I think it gets funnier the more it goes on. I don't in the tutorial area, the whole the writing just kind of seemed a little bit, like nothing, just a little generic. But I think the game actually starts getting pretty funny the more you play.
Yeah, your companion's comments are funny.
Yeah, usually. I love him. Kai is great.
Kai is awesome.
Kai is so good.
And he's very supportive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you get more companions later. But yeah,
you have the dwarf guy, right?
I just have Kai right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you won't have the other people yet.
It depends on how much you mainline. Like you can get him. You probably could get him right now, but the game kind of just sends you in a bunch of different places, and it's fine. It's fine to just have Kai.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's also fun to start pushing the boundaries in that first open world. And I'm trying to uncover all the map, right? I just like doing that in a game. Yeah. And there's areas that I've gone to, which the enemies are way too strong for me, which is awesome. And I tried to kill one of them and I felt good about it because you can just get the heck out of there after you do that. And it's really fun. I love that stuff.
I love that the game doesn't have enemy scaling so that you can accidentally wander into an area where enemies will kick your ass. We're like, all right, I guess I'm not going there. Yeah. Or if you are stubborn like me, you can figure out a way of all right, what if I game this a little bit? What if I get a little bit sweaty and really do my job here? And you can if you figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah, no level scaling, and as Sam pointed out, the enemies don't return. They don't.
Yeah, you can clear out an area, which is awesome.
There's no one there. It's really cool. My two loadouts, I think that I prefer right now. I have just a big sledgehammer, a big two-handed sledgehammer, and then my other one is a spellbook and a pistol. And it's pretty fun to be able to cast spells and just blast people in the face with a pistol at the same time.
Heck yeah!
This game it scratches that. So there's something about fighting games that I I'm not sure a lot of people notice is that when you make contact, it almost freezes the game for a 16th of a second, and it makes it feel like your attacks are really they have impact. And that's how they feel in Avowed. I feel like the game just does that. It's like a little micro 1/16th of a second freeze. And then it's just it just feels good. The melee feels great in that game. So I'm glad that you're using a big two-handed thing because it's not like Skyrim where you're just going through them. Yeah, they feel the hits and it feels good.
Right. And you the smaller ones, you hit them with the sledgehammer and they'll fly off into the.
Oh, dude, the ragdoll is so good.
The ragdoll is good. And then I have a freeze spell where you can actually freeze them and then shatter them with the sledgehammer. It's great.
Yeah, I think Mark, you kind of.
I never thought about doing that.
Yeah.
That's
dude,
awesome.
you can also do the charge where you shatter them too. So you just basically tackle them and then they just crumble into pieces. It's so good. But Mark, I think you really touched on something there. I think that what you're talking about is some of my favorite things about games is how they play with the nature of game to trick you into thinking you're doing something impressive when in reality this one is connecting with the zero to really distill it down to its essence, where it's the things like coyote time in platformers where you can run off an edge but still have the leeway to jump to the next platform. Yes. It is how you manipulate the numbers to make people feel good, and I think that's what separates a good game from a great game. And I think that the people at Obsidian, they nailed it. I think they got a great game on their hands.
Yeah.
And you guys are talking about there's not much enemy variety, but it hasn't felt that repetitive to me so far. I saw you fought bears, of course. There's the little lizard guys.
The Zaur trips or something like that.
Then there's the purple ghosts.
I've had the ghosts, the wraiths or whatever you want to call them.
And then then you start hitting skeletons.
Yeah, I'm not
and sure just kind of drunk people.
Yeah, I've had some human enemies.
Oh, the skeletons are funny. They sometimes pop back up, I think, after you shatter them, like Castlevania style. But they also get right in your face and they do those funny skeleton jumps at you. Skeletons are always funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really fun. I'm enjoying it.
Because there's a lot of verticality, the fighting is kind of fun too. Because sometimes you can just climb away from enemies, and it takes them a little while to kind of figure out how to climb up to you. So you can just spend that time shooting them, which is good. I like stuff like that. That gives you a little bit of an advantage. But it's not. You can get killed in this game. Like that's what makes it fun to like do save spamming and kind of trying to get through the tougher regions without doing it the right way. It's good stuff. That's a very Bethesda feeling.
Yeah.
I like the exploration. I like the parkour. I usually first person games, I'm like, but it feels good in this game because
right?
because they give you that mantle.
Mm-hmm,
and so even jumps you don't think you'll make, you make them. And this game really, I feel like if you go anywhere, you'll find something. And so I like when games do that.
I like how you earn experience points for discovering new areas. I always like that. Well, all I did was walk up here and I got some experience points. Yeah. That's great.
Reward people for exploring. And hats off to whoever is very clearly hand placing all of these treasure chests, because it just, they're like, yeah, of course there'd be a treasure chest here. I remember seeing, I think it was on Blue Sky, a developer saying that one of their mandatory tasks as a developer was he was a treasure chest placer by waterfall guy. So if there is a waterfall, he figured out how to put a treasure chest either inside of it or near it.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, because that opening area has like 4 waterfalls, and I think there's a chest behind one of them. But once you find that one, you're like, well, now I have to search for one. No waterfall goes unsearched.
Sometimes it's just like a body in the stream, but they have good stuff on them. You know? I think this just gets out I don't care about game marketing stuff, but like I didn't care about this game at all. And it's my type of game. So like, why did that happen? Like what? Yeah, exactly. Like I can picture what I should have seen. I should have seen like somebody at the top of that lighthouse, maybe in the open area, and like going all the way to the other corner of the map and being distracted on the way there, and just kind of like showing what you do in the game, because it's like, you can do what you do in Skyrim. You like look at somewhere far away. You're like, what? I can see that big twisted tree root actually goes up above this area that I can't get to. I'm going to figure out how to get up there, which you can't. I still don't know how to do it.
I like the little puzzles of, you come to a cabin, the door's locked. Well, how are we going to get inside the cabin?
There's got to be a hole in the roof. What's going on?
Yeah.
I love that.
It's this classic Zelda solve, and then they play with that a few times. But like, why weren't we shown that? I just don't really understand. I
think a lot of the marketing material too did a disservice to the combat, because I thought that the combat looked kind of boring in the trailers, but then you see montages of people who've previewed the game, and it's like, oh no, this combat looks fun.
Yeah,
well, showing that the command wheel is basically like Mass Effect, right? And like you're like kind of just having your team's abilities, which you can upgrade and stuff, like that's all like important core Western RPG stuff that like I miss. Like not every game has that, and it feels nice just to like command your team to just be attacking while you're trying to run or recover or whatever. It's great.
I want to ask about a side quest. So this is a very early on short side quest. So I don't think this is a big spoiler, but spoiler alert, and just in case you don't want to experience anything in the game. There's that side quest where when you get to Dawn Shore, that woman says all those lizardmen are like around her house.
That's so weird.
Yeah. She wants you to go to get rid of them or something. And then you find out that, you read her diary, which is pretty messed up. First of all, I was walking and read her diary.
And then you tell her about it.
And then she's understandably upset. But it turns out, I don't know, she like develops kind of an intimate relationship with at least one of them or more.
Well,
multiple?
She's soul bonded with it.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I didn't quite grasp
a fortune teller, I think a fortune teller told her that she was going to, she was destined to befriend the lizard people.
Okay.
So then she got too friendly with them, and then they moved in like frat boys in her house and wrecked up the place.
So it's just such a weird little,
so weird.
It's a weird little story, which I like. I appreciate.
Also they painted a picture of them all dancing with her.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if they had painted that or if she did it.
I thought it was very cute.
It's very weird, and I'm here for it.
But every now and then, though, I do fast travel back to the camp and be like, I don't know where she went. She said she was going to go check in on them.
That's right.
But I just see I just see the homeboy lizard sleeping on the floor. I was like, all right, well, I guess nothing happened. I guess this is it.
She despawned. It's over.
Yeah.
Also, after that, it's like 6 hours until there's another just basic side quest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until you get to Paradise or whatever,
Yeah, I'm in Paradise now.
Yeah. There's just you have to go through the whole, forest and everything, and there's storyline. There's a bunch of side things you can do, but nobody's like just giving you stranger, I have a side quest for you.
Dude, and Sam with the incredible NPC voices this episode.
I had fun getting into Paradise. There's two people that come up and they like waylay you and they act like they're like city guards. I killed them, which I don't normally do in games. But when you kill them, you like pick up like some like thing, which is like they had a bounty on you. They weren't city guards. It's just kind of funny.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's Avowed. It's turning out to be very, very fun. But Nick, you wanted to shout out something you were playing on Steam Next Fest.
Yeah, I very rarely check out like demos nowadays, but I realize it is actually super important to do that if you want to support a lot of the developers, because that's kind of how they get notoriety. So I figured, why not on GameScoop? But Demon Tides. Demon Tides is a game that I've been kind of thinking about ever since I touched it, just because the game looked cool. But it is essentially the first time I've seen a game follow up on Bowser's Fury, and it is a 3D platformer that is set in it's an open world that's kind of connected by a lot of ocean, but you can charge through the ocean. The game features a like a Mario triple jump, where you jump once, you jump a little higher on the second one, and then you do a flip on the third. You can do a side jump. There's a boosting. You can turn into a bat to get a little bit of extra distance or extra height. And it is just so charming. The writing's really fun. And it's just, you get in and you play around with the movement and you realize you can really do anything if you're good enough. It is evoking Bowser's Fury and Odyssey with its movement system, and I'm having a blast with it. The demo is relatively short. There's not much you can do with it, but man, the possibilities that are at your disposal are just it's just so fun. It is pure video gaming distilled down to its essence, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the full game.
Yeah, I heard of this game before. I guess I thought it had already come out.
So this is technically a sequel to a game called Demon Turf, which had a also very interesting visual style, very different kind of game. That one was like a 2D environment with like a 2D character in a 3D environment.
Sprites were 2D, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
So just like really clever stuff that they're doing. And yeah, I cannot wait to get my hands on the full game, because it's fun to move fast, and it's fun to move fast with style.
Cool.
We're always clamoring for Mario likes, right? Like, make us some contemporary, what's the evolution of the 3D platformer? And this looks like it's doing that exactly, which is awesome. And I loved Bowser's Fury. That was a great game. So it's cool. It looks a little bit Sunset Overdrive-y too, with some grinding and some kind of skateboarding type elements. Yeah, this looks great. I mean, I'm not super sold on the style, but like it sounds like if it's really tight and they really have good motion, then it's going to be a fun game. I like that.
I'm sold more on this than I was on Demon Turf, because I played a lot of Demon Turf because the guy I do Devs React to speedruns, and he really wanted that game to. We might have done an episode, I can't remember, but I played a lot of Demon Turf, and I could just never. It feels good to play, but the whole 2D sprite in a 3D world just never gelled with me as much as this looks like. This looks really good.
Check it out. Steam Next Fest demo, I think just this week. I don't know how long Steam Next Fest lasts.
So this is a Mario like. What's the Sonic like?
Oh, the Sonic like?
Haste.
Yeah, Haste.
That's right, yeah.
We have like a big Slack channel where people are like, oh, is anyone checking out cool Steam stuff? And one of the other IGN producers, I believe it was Ronnie, he posted a link to this game called Haste, which I'd seen before on like Twitter and Blue Sky. But it is another just, you move fast, you move forward, and you do it in really cool ways. I am going to check out Haste when I get home today, because this is just another one. I love moving fast, and I love looking cool doing it. You got grapple hooks, you got tumbles, you got rolls. Yeah, this looks really fun. Oh yeah, just zany. I love it.
I would guess this is a Sonic game.
Yeah.
They say I keep hearing it's Sonic without enemies
or chickens.
I want to play Monster Train 2. I love Monster Train 1.
I love
Monster Train 2 is in there.
Monster Train so much, but I think I'll just wait for the full game.
I'll wait for the full release on that one. I know what to expect from Monster Train 2.
I do. At least in the Monster Train subreddit, everyone who's played it says it's great, and it's just the same with just more stuff added on top of it. So
love it.
Great. Love it.
Did you all see this Game of Thrones game that doesn't look so bad?
No.
I saw when they unveiled it, and we all thought this looks like a phone game. And then it was like Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's on Steam, and so there's like, it's coming out like it's Q2, it says, but like it's an action there's a new trailer that I was watching, and it's an action RPG.
Oh.
And the newer trailer, it doesn't look like this. It looks like, although I think that's what it could be the same game as well. But yeah, it looks like Shadow of Mordor, coincidentally. Like looks kind of
weird,
big and open and cool combat. And it's calling itself an action RPG.
Now that you said that, nice. I could see a Shadow of Mordor style Game of Thrones game with a Nemesis system.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't have to come up with these ideas for you.
I mean, all of Game of Thrones is just one big Nemesis.
This is the game, King's Road, but